What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Hope you guys had an amazing festive season and are ready to get back into the swing of things. Also, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the little notification bell for more videos. So raise your hand if you too are a chronic overthinker or scatterbrain. If you're suddenly an insomniac, or someone who constantly gets yelled at for not paying attention, or someone who has far too many ideas bouncing around in their brain to stick to one idea. If this sounds like you, this video is perfect for you. Everyone knows an overthinker or scatterbrain. In my family, it's me and my mom. We both like to overthink most of our situations, and sometimes it can be debilitating. So I decided to come up with some steps that have helped me understand my overthinking and to calm my brain down. Since everyone has at some point in their life overthought a situation so gravely that we kind of felt like fools when the situation actually happened because it really wasn't that big of a deal to begin with. I mean, a simple example that most girls can relate to is having to send a text to your crush. Let the overthinking of every word, comma, full stop, and emoji begin. But how does overthinking actually affect us? To come up with the steps and use them properly to really be able to train your brain to be calm, we need to understand how overthinking can actually impact us. So number one, it creates problems that either aren't there anymore or creates problems that never really existed. Number two, you live in a constant state of fearing the future or regretting the past. You never really acknowledge the present that you're living in. Number three, overthinking keeps the problem in your life a problem because focusing on the problem won't give you any solutions, so you're stuck in the problem for much longer. Number four, overthinking robs you of your energy. I know this feeling far too well. You have a fight with someone, a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and you think about everything that was said or typed. You analyze the tone of voice, the possible thoughts that led to it. What could happen afterwards? What is really happening now? What could possibly go wrong? And at the end of the day, you're defeated, you're tired, and you haven't found a solution, just a stronger relationship with your pillow. Number five, overthinking glorifies the what if horror game. What if I never find love again? What if no one will ever hire me ever? What if I'm alone for the rest of my life? What if I become a creepy, smelly cat lady? And number six, overthinking increases the amount of times that negative thoughts appear in your life. The more you think about a problem, the more likely you'll feel those emotions that you felt when the problem actually occurred. So you keep thinking about it, so you get angrier and angrier or more upset or more sad. Right, so I know some of you are looking at this list and relating far more than you expected and willing to admit. It's okay, I feel you. So to help you out, because everyone hates overthinking and everyone knows it sucks and sometimes you wish you knew what to do to relax your brain and stop these thoughts, I've come up with a few steps for you to use. But before I start, I want to make something very clear. All of these techniques do work, but it won't or will rarely work on the first try. Because like any muscle, if you've exercised your brain to overthink, the more you exercise that, the stronger it gets. So you have to retrain your brain and you have to work it out. You have to exercise your brain to be calm. So it's gonna take some practice, but I promise you it works. So here they are. 5 techniques to calm your brain and to stop the overthinking. So technique number 1 is the boxes. So this one I created. Okay, I may or may not have created this way of thinking. I didn't really research this one. It just came to me when my mom was overthinking and it really worked well for her. So if it does already exist with another name, then I do apologize. Okay. So my mom is an artist, or what we like to call her, the creative. She thinks in pictures and ideas, and they come incredibly frequently. This lady is constantly got a new idea for a product or a service or fashion item or anything really. And so many of her ideas are great ones, but they never really get to develop because she bounces so quickly from one idea to the next that it really doesn't get the care it needs to become a reality. She loves all of her ideas and never wants to let them go. So she'll bounce back and forth between many ideas at a time, which isn't good for the efficiency of her brain because you can't focus on a million things at once. So to make her feel better about not having to completely forget about an idea or never revisiting it again, I told her to think of her brain as a bunch of boxes. Each idea has its own separate important box, and they're all in storage, so they never get lost or forgotten. But now you can take one of the boxes out at a time and see what it holds, and once you're done with that box, you put it back and grab the next one. Visualizing you putting each idea into a box, and because you're able to take one out at a time, it allows you to organize your brain. You can now separate the ideas and give each one enough love and care without being all over the place. So technique number 2 is to think in a wider perspective. So when you have a problem in life and you keep revisiting it with the same negative, upsetting emotions and obviously overthinking it, here is a technique for you to put your problems into a realistic perspective. Think to yourself, will this problem matter in 6 weeks from now? We often overthink and think, this is the end, this is how I die, goodbye work, it's been fresh. But when you place your problem in the retrospect of your life, you start to see how small it actually is. 90% of the time, you won't even remember the problem in 6 weeks from now, let alone have it matter to you. So relax, it's not that big of a deal. And remember to think, will this matter to me in 6 weeks from now? So technique number 3 is learning how to breathe. Okay, so I know you're probably thinking, okay, Yogi Axe, what the hell? I too used to think that this was utter bullcrap and a lie said by hippies because what the hell, I breathe every damn day and I don't feel any calmer, so stop telling me to do these things and selling me dreams. But I was pleasantly surprised by the outcomes. But you see, it's not about just breathing. It's about the way that you breathe. Many people have probably said this to you before. When you're angry, count back from 10. Well, it's the same sort of concept. So when you're overthinking, focus on your breathing. Take a long, deep, chest-inflaming breath. 4 seconds in, hold for 2 seconds, and release your breath over 8 seconds again. Do that over and over. After maybe a minute or 2 of doing this, you have not only decreased your heart rate, which makes you calmer, but you've pumped more blood and oxygen through your body, which makes you think clearer and more effectively. But on top of all of this, you're not overthinking the problem. You've been focusing on your breathing, which didn't give you the time to think about your problem. So, thanks hippies. So technique number 4 is for the insomniacs. This technique is so simple, it's honestly ridiculous. And like the last point, I didn't even believe it until I tried it myself. I do this every night now before I go to bed and it helps me calm my thoughts and ease me into a relaxing, fulfilling sleep. So this has 2 parts. So the first part is counting back from 100. So this has a similar concept to the previous point. This is used to help you focus your brain on something else other than the problem. So what you do is to lie back on your bed, take a few deep, hearty breaths, and start counting back from 100. You see, because you're focusing so hard on having to think in the opposite direction, you actually don't have time to think about your problem. And since it's actually a little bit difficult to at first start counting back from 100, you start to get sleepy because your brain is using so much energy and starts to shut down after a long day. So part 2 of this has been an absolute lifesaver for me, and it's actually a friend of mine who showed it to me. It's an app called Rain Sounds. So you've guessed it, it has to do with the sounds of rain. But not only rain, but the beach, the forest, rivers, thunderstorms, practically anything. These are a perfect way to calm your brain down. All the sounds are incredibly relaxing and you can time for how long you want them to go on for. This has helped me relax my brain and set the mood for a deliciously peaceful sleep. And coupled with counting back from 100, I'm asleep with no problem within 10 minutes. And lastly, number 5 is relinquish your control. Most of the time, if not all of the time that we're overthinking because it's a situation that went wrong and we had no control or power over it. So in our attempts to regain that control, we try to think about the situation in detail. Let go of that control. You will not be able to control every situation in your life. And to be 100% honest, the only thing you can control is you. So release that control, as scary as it is, because you trying to regain it by overthinking is making your life more miserable than the actual event or not having control. So there it is, peeps, 5 techniques to take back the control of your overthinking. I hope that these really helped you in calming down your brain and allowing for a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next episode. By the way, if you did hear a discrepancy in the sounds, I was recording in 2 different locations, so if you did hear that, I'm sorry, but the next time it'll be better because I'm in a single location. But thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.